Hello, everyone. I am Gandair of the gaming clan, Vatsu Clan, and we are about to bring you into the next game. It's going to be the second game of the round of 32. It is going to be LPO versus What's Dominion? Not that button, that button. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and do the bans. I'm going to actually talk about the bans this time. I'm going to sit here and try to do it as quick as I can. They ban them pretty fast. That's kind of why we skimmed over them. Jayce. Jayce has long-range poke, long-range AoE poke, and he's a good bruiser. He also has a very nice disengage, because if you try and fight him one-on-one in melee, he can just bat you back, pop the acceleration gate, and get out of there. So his poke is good, and he's a good brawler as well. There's really no direct way to play against him that particularly stops him. He does suffer a little bit to kiting, but the fact that he can just go gun for him and disengage and shoot at you while he leaves, it kind of discourages that a little bit. Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix is a very powerful assassin. He can leap over walls that other characters can't because of Evolved Leap, and he does so much damage that he either A, kills someone, or B, he does enough damage to force them out of the fight. And Elise. Durable character, has a stun, does a lot of damage. That's really all there is about her. She's just really good. And Repel makes it annoying for killing her, so if you ban her, it's a little bit easier than having to actually deal with her in fights, because she's kind of tanky, has a stun, good sustain damage. Elise is great. Nidalee. Nidalee has very good poke, probably the most powerful poke in Dominion, and in order to kill her, you have to go through that poke to get there. And even while she's dead, her traps are triggering on the map and giving vision of your team to them. The only way to stop those traps is by not letting her put them down in the first place, by banning her. Lulu, high movement speed, airborne, damage shield, turns things into a cat. Lulu's entire kit is amazing, and she's extremely difficult to deal with. Kassadin, great chase and escape. He has a silence and a slow. He's also really hard to catch and kill. That's why you take him out. Coordinated hard CC will kill a Kassadin, but it's just easier to leave Kassadin at home.
Yeah, and we're going to be going into the picks as well. Del30, the Bargaining Sports as well for this round of 32 matchup. Game number 2 coming out. LPO on the blue side, purple side slash red side. What's Dominion? And as we go on, Wukong is still going to get picked number 1 in the Monkey Heart, and Beef are going to be picking that one up for the team of LPO. Wukong, very, very strong pickup that was on What's Dominion side. Changing it over LPO. Are they going to actually keep it going, or are they going to actually get that cycle working for the team, or will Pooters bring in the Pooter strap, maybe pick up the Janna as well, as we do have the lock-ins coming up from the other side. What's the main? We'll be picking up the J4 and the Vi. And as we go on from this one, What's Dominion going to pick up those 2 champions? Hopefully we'll see some good action. I mean, What's Dominion did pick up the Vi from last game, and it was a pretty decent one. Or if I'm mixing up things, sorry about that. But Vi in general has been doing a great job ball breaking and disrupting points. And one of the things that What the Dominion was doing was the strat of making everything chaotic. And with Vi, with J4, with Lulu, and the first of the best of 3 games, it was a really, really strong strat. On the other hand, for the team of the LPO, what are they going to counter with? Are they really going to go with Thresh, or are they going to go with the Ashe? They're going to lock in that Janna yet again for that global presence of move speed, but are they going to keep up with that Ashe pick? That would be a very, very, very interesting pick, and they're going to go lock into a Mumu instead.
And one of the things that the viewers might want to know out there is that sometimes the Dominion players will actually have the stream on during the champ select, and then when they go over the game, they'll the spectator delay. Can't stream snipe with spectator delay, but sometimes they like to make us say champion names a bunch of times in a row, so they will cycle through them. Dynov in particular is known for doing that by highlighting Vigor and holding it till the last second and then switching it. But one time he got stuck in it. It was very, very amusing. So the Mumu pick is very strong because Mumu's a really durable character, and all of his damage is AoE. It's really hard to miss with him. Banish Toss has a great movement speed. You really can't do a lot to it. Mumu's a character that actually does get banned sometimes. Not so much recently because of some changes that have been made to him, but he's still a great tank. That percent damage is amazing. And if you do decide to go a little bit squishier on a Mumu, get a Blackfire Torch on him, that's percent damage with percent damage, so it gets very scary. And then we're seeing Janna also, and as Bird mentioned, we saw Janna last game. Janna was pretty effective. We'll see some of that again. On the other side, Talon and Teemo. Talon has a silence, slow, shadow assault, good engage, or escape sometimes. Talon can do a lot of things. He's a very strong assassin. Very, very fragile, unfortunately. Teemo. Teemo gives vision on the map. This is something that you don't get a lot of in this game mode because there are no wards in Dominion. You have to have other effects in order to gain vision via Grez's Spectral Lantern and Hextech Sweeper, or you need things like Clairvoyance, Teemo's Mushrooms, the Noxious Traps, you need Nidalee. Anything that gives vision on the map is very, very powerful in this game mode. And Teemo's Noxious Traps, 1, they slow, 2, they give vision, but it's mostly the vision that makes them very powerful because now you know people are coming, and you can plan accordingly. Now, Teemo's Mushrooms are not nearly as powerful as they used to be. The Noxious Traps are revealed by a... Is it Lightbringer?
Yeah, Lightbringer is the only item that can bring him.
If you have a Lightbringer, it will actually reveal Teemo's Noxious Traps on the map when you walk up on them. It reveals stealth traps. You'll see Shaco boxes, too. And I think that's the only ones. But it will reveal those, and you can destroy them safely. But that's a pretty big gold investment to get a Lightbringer. That takes quite a bit of gold, and it gives a lot of attack speed. Normally you don't want that attack speed early on. You want that after you get your damage item. So it's not something that people pick up early. So Teemo's really good in the early game. Teemo's move quick ability keeps him active on the map. He has a blind as well, which is great, and he can do a ton of damage as well. So Teemo is a very, very good character in this game. On the other side, we're seeing Zyra and Cassiopeia. These are two characters we haven't seen yet in this tournament, and they are very powerful. Cassiopeia has a lot of AoE, high sustained damage, and Zyra has the best zoning ability in the game, and she has multiple types of crowd control. Slow, airborne, snare. Zyra brings a lot to the table. Plus, after she dies, she has a line effect interrupt that can be used to get some last-minute disruption on the tower.
Yeah, and we're going to close it up with the Cassiopeia pick and that Brand pick yet again. I think Brand's going to go back to bottom. That was what's the main, or LPO, that's what they chose last game. And now we're going to see what's the main going to turn it around. Maybe use that for a bottom pick, or maybe we'll see how it will change up. But that would be the most suggested choice. Maybe even Emperor Heck going bottom, but we saw Emperor Heck going into the middle, the top, the bottom areas with a lot of mobility with that J4. On the other hand, it could be Hammer in it as well. On the other hand, LPO going to be picking out. Maybe Falcon's going to go pick up that Cassiopeia for a bottom lane battle. So we're going to see a Brand versus Cassiopeia battle. What do you think about that, Gandair?
Brand versus Cassiopeia. These are two characters that look similar on paper but aren't. They both have a lot of damage. They both have AoE. Brand brings a more reliable stun to the table than Cassiopeia does. However, Cassiopeia brings higher sustained damage. Brand, I don't think will be able to deliver that stun as often as you would want to because it has to have a clear line of effect in order to be able to apply to Cass. Cass, however, can throw persistent AoE across the minion wave at him. So if both those guys are in the bottom lane, I would have to give the advantage to Cassiopeia, just because she can harass significantly easier than Brand can by throwing down Miasma and just letting it sit there and tick. And that could weaken Brand to the point where she could just jump in and capitalize on it. I do want to talk for a moment though about Clairvoyance. Seeing Clairvoyance is something that you will you'll see often enough that it's not weird. That Clairvoyance is picked by one person on each team sometimes because you want the extra vision, and it's a very powerful vision effect. So you've got that going for you, and that is going to be able to be used, outside of the sweeper and has a global range. So you'll see bottom laners picked it up once in a while, and they'll run that with Revive instead of Revive Garrison or something else like that, because that allows them to help their team a lot, and it keeps the same number of summoner spells on the top fight. I think that's the more important part. You keep the same spells up top. Your Exhaust Garrisons Ignites, you keep all that up top just fine. You don't need to sacrifice one to get a Clairvoyance because the bottom laner can take it. So your team fights stay the same, they have the same spells, plus that extra bonus vision coming from someone else on the team. It's really useful.
Yeah, I have to agree with that one, and well, let's see that Clairvoyance actually going to be brought in by the Brand. The Summer Blockers are taking it on, but we'll see the Brand doing that one over there. for the team of What's Dominion. On the other hand, LPO, I'm not really picking that one up. There's a flash for flash. Pooters this time not going to be picking up the Ghosts, going to be picking up the Revive. Seeing a little bit more standard, but for What's Dominion side, they're still going to do the same crazy strats. So they're going to go disrupt all the, well, standard ability of staying up top, staying up bottom, going to do a little bit of jungle ganking with this really, really crazy strat. So I'm going to love to see the play again for Pooters. We're going to see the play of the team of LPS try to just disrupt this, or will What's Dominion take it in for the game of the century. It is going to be the round of 32 action. Game number 2 going to be starting up soon. LPO on the blue side, purple side. What's Dominion? Again, shoutouts to everybody and sponsors coming out to play LoLPro, Curse, Leaguepedia, and Reign of Gaming. Other than that, where can we find you, Gandair?
Hey, if you like me, you like my media, and you want to learn more about what I do on Twitter, @VatoClans, where you can follow me and updates about the things that my gaming clan does, and on YouTube, youtube.com/VatoClan. I have a lot of media produced over there.
Yep, and for me as well, you can all go find me over on Twitter, twitter.com/L3IRD, and also on the YouTube button, youtube.com/L3BIRD. But we're about to start this up, game number 2 of this best 3 series.
And this game is game 2, as you said. This time we are going to have Ludifico, Pullem, Officinas on the left side. Buford playing as Janna, Nig Dynasty playing as Wukong, Ragnarok playing as Amumu, Onyx Flame as Zyra, and Falcon 5055 playing as Cassiopeia. I'm one half of your casters. I am Gandair, and casting with me is
L3RD, the bird getting in some words for this one. Emperor Hick, J4. We do have Hammerhand going to be playing up by Dragonblade Talon yet again going to be played by Arn Weasel. Pooters playing out the adorable, or Teutonic maybe, Teemo. And lastly but not least, the Zombie Brand, the Michael Jackson dance that he could, going to be played up by Kyrian. So we're going to see the dance, the action going to be coming in. Again, we're going to follow around on Teemo/Pooters for this action. But I'm pretty sure LPO, I mean, they faced the strat before for the first game. They have some way to defeat the Pooter strat.
They should, I believe. I mean, they've dealt with it before, so doing with it again should be just fine.
There is no team in Teemo. That is probably the truth of the matter. I'm like, again, I said this in game number 1. I feel like Pooters is like the Rain Man of Summoner Rift equivalent. Like, he has his own unique style. He pushes all day. He distracts the team to pull off attention to them. And, well, Teemo being Teemo, we'll see if Pooters can rock this one down.
Mm-hmm. And over on the other side, we have... Well, my overlay broke. I'll have to fix it between the next game. I could not resize the team names for some reason. I can't explain why. But on the left side, we have Ludifico, Pullem, Officinas, and on the right side, we have What's Dominion.
While you go fix that right quick, I'm just gonna talk about it real quickly. CV being used really early for What's Dominion. It's really important actually to start up with a bottom lane matchup just to have a little bit ahead of items, but also just a knowledge. And having that knowledge of who's going bot was really key. And LPO didn't forget that, so they didn't show who was going bottom, but they're expecting that it's gonna be Cassiopeia. On the other hand, we're starting out with the items looking at J4, double Ruby Crystal. Really interested to see. We did see Emperor Hick last time, playing up the Sejuani, picked up a Giant's Belt on top of a Clop Armor. So he's going to be that really big tank. He's going to try to, well, be disruptive, but hopefully we'll see if that will come into play. We do see everyone starting up. LPO blue side, What's Dominion on the purple/red, onto the war with the Crystal Scar. Emperor Hick, Pooters, everybody else actually starting out really standard this time. No disruptions over at bottom. Pooters not going to do the Pooter strat yet again. We're going to have a pretty interesting fight. Kyrian going to start off with a disengage. Onyx Flame going to get down and do some damage, and we're going to see if Pooters can get caught. Right now, nothing really started up. We do see Deadly Boom Plant's going to go disable just for a little bit longer. A lot of poke damage coming out from the team of What's Dominion.
And airborne by Jarvan. He did not get punished very much for that at all. He was actually able to escape away and circle around. Brand being able to do a lot of damage. Vi dead. Unfortunately, she was taken down. Ragnarok maybe the next one to fall here. No. Damage shield from Janna is going to keep him alive through that dot damage. And Emperor Hicks getting low on health. Buford once chased, can't flash in from Pooters, takes down Zyra. And Zyra looks for the shot, takes it, deals a little bit more damage in on Pooters. Hicks returning to the fight, is going to begin capturing the tower. There's no one to interrupt it yet. And New Dynasty falls. Now it's Buford. Buford knows he needs to stop that, walks up to stop the capture, and takes a lot of damage in the process, is going to be defeated, unfortunately. And Ragnarok tries to keep it neutral, can't quite do it. It's up to Onyx Flame to stop this.
The plant's going to try to shoot out unless she could, but she could not stop the other two. Hammerhand going to take the damage, but the windmill going to be securely on the point in the favor of what's the minion. Pooters over there had a really interesting take. He could have actually killed Amumu with that flash in, probably two-shot in, but we'll go into that point. Hammerhand getting caught out. Ragnarok going to do a lot of damage to the team, and Vi going to be taking out from that little bit of gank from that sad Amumu.
And Krillian just slightly out of range of Tantrum. Doesn't take that, but takes damage from everyone else. Tried to retreat back to his tower, not able to do so, unfortunately. That would have been a great setup if he was level 6. And, well, if he had to have fired off his Pyroclasm, rather. But he opted to not use it there. Looks like he was going to save it for later. I feel like he may have been able to pick up Wukong in that engagement. But up at the top, Jarvan throws down the Cataclysm. Starts to fight with Wukong. Janna, though, able to help out a lot in keeping Wukong alive. And Emperor Hicks now chasing after him, wants to kill him, not going to be able to do so. And Teemo, kiting Ragnarok away through the mushrooms, is going to die, unfortunately.
A mummy versus a little badger, and the badger could not win that one. I don't know, Booters. You might have to step up your game at the moment. Right now, we do see Cassiopeia getting kicking in over at bottom lane, and we're going to see what's making play this play again. They're going to go disrupt onto all the points around the side of LPO. LPO is going to have this defensive stance for a little bit, but this time 3 cap to 2 cap instead of 4 cap to 2 cap, or 4 cap to 1 cap. It's a really, really good stake for at least LPO side at the moment.
Ooh, there's the airborne on Vi, and the slow as well. Assault and batteries, Cassiopeia, but unfortunately, no real follow-up to that.
Yeah, Buford got a good take from that one, getting that gank in, and we're going to see Pooters try to go up to the windmill, but Buford saying, no, you cannot match the speed of me, even if you can move quick. But now Emperor is over on the side. They're going to try to catch onto Buford. We do have 2 members waiting up over by the windmill for LPO. Are they going to capture on to Emperor Hick? That is the question. They
might. They're trying really aggressively to get the neutral, and they have it. That's going to make this fight a lot easier without the defender's advantage of the tower. Onyx Flame low on health. Whoa, almost steps on the Noxus Trap. Is going to die anyway, unfortunately. And Buford in the back is going to begin the channel on the point. Jarvan taken down. Pooters dives through to interrupt, and successfully interrupts. Takes a slow for his troubles and has to back away.
And for now, we do have a symbol of the stop. LPO going to go cap up at the 3-2. And we're going to see how LPO is going to keep on pushing with this one. Pooters, this time being more of a team-friendly player, has been just at the windmill and trying to damage down onto all the enemy team. But Buford and everybody, the rest of the crew is saying, okay, Pooter goes in, tries to do some damage, but doesn't really do too much after that. So really cool to see LPO, I guess, reform back, because over in game number 1, LPO, it seemed like they were really lost. They were really tentative on the decision making of where to go with what's minion. I mean, they wanted to fight a few times in the game number 1, but they were all spread out because they didn't really decide which way to go. And we did have a pause for a second. It was just a little bit of a alt tab, and we're going to go back into the game.
I see a lot of Kindle Gems. I would not be surprised if every single one turned into a Hextech Sweeper. I see 4 of them. In the bottom,
with Wukong, but keep going.
In the bottom, Falcon being ganked by Vi. Mostly Talon, but Vi helped out as well. Special guest appearance. Buford coming around the back while that's going on. With them extended to the other side of the lane, that gives Buford an opportunity to go for this tower. He does have the neutral. Will not be able to get the full cap. He just wants to sit on it for a little while and get as much of it in as possible to increase the amount of time it takes for them to capture it back. Exhaust on Emperor Hicks. Ragnarok wants to keep him under that tower. Brand shuts the tower off. J4 shuts the tower off. Ragnarok has to retreat from the point. When you have two people on a tower, you can alternate who is trying to capture, so that way the tower is A, not firing, and B, being captured in your favor. There's the clairvoyance on the map. Want to make sure that no one is in that area. And looks like Vi and Talon could take care of Zyra down the bottom. Zyra was doing a pretty good job of keeping them tangled up for a little bit. Cassiopeia was able to get the bottom left, the quarry, back for the team, but they are still down. They're only down by about 30, 40 points. There's bigger deficits than that we've seen come back from in this tournament.
Yeah, even in this tournament, although in the first game was the big key to start up the whole shebang. Before getting caught out over there, gonna have to use up the monster to get all around and get out of here. Falcon now gonna be coming up from the bottom lane, gonna go try to catch her onto Hammerhand. Hammer gonna use the Vault Assault.
Ooh,
Assault
good
Breaker
shield
to
from
get
Janna.
around and back. Yeah, I mean, it's a very good thing they have the mobility and the global mobility that's coming up from Janna, but Falcon gonna be coming up from top lane. That means we're gonna see Armed Weasel going in for the back half.
Yeah, with 5 people present, if you see 5 people on the enemy team, you know it is safe to go for a different point.
Yeah, definitely, and we do see the damage coming out again. Vi gonna get caught out in the middle of, well, nowhere's land, and we do see we're gonna see everybody else have the back half coming out. Emperor Heck gonna go try to capture this one. You're gonna hold off the point for a little bit longer. Gonna use the garrison. And SC gonna go in and gonna poke into Wukong. Pooter's gonna come off the side. And now Ragnarok and everybody else. There's a 3v2 at the moment. Krillian and Pooter's not really in position. Now over at the windmill, gonna be able to defend out the point for a little bit. And we're gonna see if they're gonna engage upon this or if they're gonna hold it off. While there is a neutral point over at bottom.
The bottom point only having just now been recaptured by Cassiopeia. Talon did a very good job earlier of dodging Cassiopeia's ultimate by facing the opposite direction. Snare at the top by a Mumu. Pooters goes down, and Emperor Hicks throws down the Cataclysm. Turret is on him. There was an offensive garrison, but it still dealt enough damage to defeat him. Buford begins the capture on the tower. Minions kick it over to neutral. MVP minions. Can Janna delay this for a while? It's going to be a long time before our allies get there.
Yeah, Krillian and Hammerhand should be able to finish one up. There is Pillar of Flame, but the heal coming out from the Health Relic going to be able to shield it down for a little bit. Buford going to be more of a disruption. Going to miss up on the Seer. Krillian and Hammerhand now going to try to finish it up, but Emperor Hick should be able to kill it down. Krillian going to be able to pick up the kill.
He was able to keep it neutral for a little while. Now it's a 100 health Nexus deficit that they are in, and that's tricky to come back from.
That is very tricky, and we're going to see the reset in the game. So far, LPO had a really good
Look
defense.
at all the Hex-Tech sweepers, every single one.
Yeah, and we do have the Spectral Lantern as well. I mean, LPO really needs to find out a way to just stop out the strat, but they also need to just force their own play. They've been pretty much responding to What's Dominion, and What's Dominion had a field day. Literally, the Field of Dreams coming out, possibly from Peters in a little bit, but we're going to start this action. Emperor Hick going to take a lot of damage from the start.
And they wanted to follow up, but Talon was there to discourage that from happening. Cassiopeia coming up from the bottom lane, uses the vision, tries to connect with Jarvan. May not be enough. No, not quite enough. Unfortunately, Jarvan is able to recall away. Zyra goes for the top point. Krillian Brand moves up to interrupt.
We see the Deadly Boom versus the Pillar Flame, but nothing too much from that. And now everybody else of LPO coming in the windmill.
Point slightly captured. The turret still firing though. And 4-on-3, not terribly balanced engagement. Pooter's able to interrupt Janna, but there's no one to stop Onyx Flame. Finally zoned away by Brand, but Brand had to dive through enemies to get to it. Cataclysm determined to shut down her, but now what? Where's his big damage going to come from? He does not have that burst to throw down. I feel like he really could have used that to clean up someone else and let Zyra go. Turned around, maybe thrown that down on Janna Mumu might have helped, but who knows? That answer is only found in a parallel universe. But for now, What's Dominion is they're not looking so good at the moment. They have lost control of the top point, unfortunately, and LPO is in charge of it, and LPO has better map position for now.
Yeah, and especially with all the vision coming out from all the sweepers, like you said, and the Spectral Grazzle Lantern, they're going to be able to just have all of this sight. While Teemo is very effective to lay down mushrooms and give out that vision, if they're going to get swooped out before they even start, it's going to be a big problem for the team of What's Dominion.
And both of them moving around the map. Cassiopeia coming up once again, but I think Talon's checking her out to make sure she doesn't get anywhere. Vi moving down towards the lower part of the map. They're trying to attack the top point, although Onyx Flame and Ragnarok, Zyra and Mumu, two very good characters for defending on a point. At the bottom, though, Cassiopeia, not in a very good position, unfortunately. Great stun, though, by Cass! And that's going to be really good. She does manage to pick off Vi in the engagement. Does not have enough damage, unfortunately, to have gotten rid of Talon. At the top point, Wukong taking a double kill. Pooters having to retreat through the jungle. And Vi in the middle of the map, they find Vi. A little bit of crowd control can go a long way for stopping her. But Ragnarok doesn't really have a lot of mana left, and it's on cooldown.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did pull down two people over into the bottom lane, so LPO said we will be able to take out this fight. Although they're going to lose out to that cap, Pooter's now going to try to catch up on the Buford, and the objective point going back into what's the main, so they do have that damage bonus at the moment. Onyx Flame is in a little bit of trouble. Cataclysm going down. Pooter's going to get that poison in, and it is going to be the J4, the man of the hour, going to be able to pick up that kill. Ragnarok on the side is going to think about Pooter in. But Pooters is going to go Pooter in onto the team of LPO, and LPO is going to back away from this one at the moment.
Hammerhand revealed by the click effect vision over the wall, so they know where he is. Can't play the stealth games, unfortunately. Emperor Hick dives onto the tower, and Pooters taking a lot of damage, is defeated, and then tower's still on Emperor Hick's. Offensive garrison reduces the damage that the tower deals, and Wukong able to pick up a double kill. Kerillian now under the tower, and that was a very poor tower dive, unfortunately, for What's Dominion.
Yeah, Kerillian going in there, not the tankiest of characters, get smashed in the face with that tower, and on top of that, the Janus shield really saving out a lot of the damage that could have came in from the brand. So great job from there. Pooter's going to be able to push up the team with the team for What's Dominion over in the Windmill. Windmill being the contested point yet again. Ooh, great Pyroclasm. Is it going to be enough to pick up Buford? I don't think so.
No, not quite. 23 hit points short of being defeated.
And we do see engagement yet again. Emperor Hick going to go in. Damn it, he's going to go take some damage onto Emperor Hick. The Kerillian and everybody else backing away. They did not want to fight on this one. While on the other hand, yet again, Vi coming into the bottom, getting in that gank in.
Also, the Hextech Sweeper also reveals traps in addition to Lightbringer.
Yep, and we do see Pooters and everybody else
Garrison
around.
Thrown away on the top tower, unfortunately. Did not arrive in time.
And we see a beautiful Petrifying Gaze over in bottom. We do have Hammerhand taking a lot of damage, but it is going to be Falcon getting cleaned up. Great job by Arm Weasel getting that burst damage off of the Cutthroat. Oof, that brutal amount of damage, even though a great gate.
Jaina moving down to the bottom lane in order to defend the point is going to interrupt Hicks, but can she get to Arm Weasel? Yep, just fine. He's not going to be able to get a hold of that. Amumu helping finish off the kill on Jarvan and turning his attention now towards Talon. Connects with the Banish Toss, could stay with him. Talon wants to jump out through a, jump out through a minion, Talon. That's how that works. Good awareness. If you are a character that has a jump or teleport or leap, remember, minions can be your door to freedom.
As long as you can target them, they will be able to get killed. So
you can Jax and Katarina jump to the towers in Dominion. We're not sure why.
The middle point, is that right?
Yeah. Oh, and the relics too.
Oh, wow.
These two relics and any of these towers, Jax and Katarina can jump to them for some reason. We're not sure why.
I think Riot, who are in here, are gonna recognize that and might have to fix that as well. We do see LPO, everybody forming up in the jungle.
Lee can safeguard to him too. Someone pointed out. So both teams looking for a position in the middle of the map right now.
Yeah, What's the Main just holding up in the middle right now. We do see the push up for What's the Main to the Windmill, and yet again they're going to try for this 4v4 engagement. I don't think it is going to really work out. It's been pretty devastating to them so far.
As Jarvan with the Cataclysm jumps through to Zyra. Zyra can still reach the team fight from there, so it doesn't shut her down at all, unfortunately. Kerillian gets sent back to the summoner platform. Hammerhand kicked out by Janna is going to be able to escape down towards the southern part of the map, but Vi really needs to recall. Ragnarok may be able to connect with Jarvan and is able to do so. Bandage Toss tried to guess where he was going. Not a terribly good guess, but they managed to stick. And Jan needs to get in range with a Zephyr if they want to. Nope. too far away now, unfortunately. Vi did go back to heal, and now Ludifico Pullem Officinas is in control of the top tower.
Yeah, Emperor Hick, I'm just going to shout out to him. He played that so beautifully, the micro coming into play, and then the decision making not to use the flag toss as a big disruption as the startup, but used it as the escape at the end with the knockup Manjana. Just beautiful J4 mechanics right there. Good job by What's the Main taking that one down. Unfortunately, there's still 3 cap at the moment, and they were up so far ahead. I don't know if they can really come back from this one. The team comp, the damage from all the AoE ultimates and the wall shields with Dynasty really doing a lot of damage in between the team, really big. So we're going to see if Pooters and the team can really hold this one off and try to do some interesting capturing.
Falcon being zoned away from the point, pinched up against the wall while his allies are on the opposite end of the map. He's going to lose that Boneyard Tower at the top. Buford Janna defending against Emperor Hick. Emperor Hick caught, however, from the snare by Zyra, is going to be chased away. And with that bottom capture, What's the Bean is going to sweep up towards the top. They're going to put a lot of hurt on Cassiopeia, and they're going to chase her away from the point. And they were in a good position to try and neutral that, but with Zyra returning, they're not going to be able to get that tower. And on the other side, their push on the drill was defeated. Zyra was not able to be there because she had to move back to respond to the refinery play, and they aren't going to be able to hold on to that point.
I think for What's the Main, this is the play they're going to have to keep on making. Again, they were just notorious with this in the first game, just socializing and getting everybody around the map instead of just staying in this 4v4, 1v1 kind of meta. So we'll see if that will keep on going, and What's the Main gets picked up. J4 going to be taken down, and our Weasel, seeing through a little bit of vision, does pick up one, but gets traded off for another.
And Cassiopeia hung up on the side here, having to take out minions before she could get back to her tower. And that delay in time getting back to the tower has created a situation where the other team was able to arrive before she could get it neutraled again. And Falcon turns around, tries to get some damage going, but it takes a lot in return. Good stun on Brand, maybe? No, not going to be able to take him down. Does not have the dot active on him. However, Buford's Janna can kill him if she's able to connect. She just needs a good slow. And there we go. Janna with the double kill in the bottom lane, but Armed Weasel's Talon wants to ground that flight and is able to do so. The dot damage taking her out.
Slanted it down onto the Janna. Janna did get a good Zephyr kill off on that one, but unfortunately was not enough. Twin Shadow is being used to slow down the opponents. Timo is still being a big disruption. Pooters is going to try to do his Pooter thing, but he hasn't been doing that quite a bit through this match. Hopefully the team of What's the Main can go back to that, round one or game one win, and we'll see if Pooters can keep it going, or will the team of LPO actually finish this one up. They're down one cap at the moment, 3-2, and we'll see how this will finish up.
Top point, Jarvan being very aggressive again. Jarvan along with Vi, that's a very good combination to run, but the enemy team's not biting on that. LPO backing off a little bit, using the sweeper, getting the vision, taking down those Noxious traps.
Over at bottom, we do see two people over there. Armed Weasel was just defending out a little bit. Now Falcon going to try to go up into the mid lane and try to capture down onto the team of What's the Main. 3-2 cap, not yet again, and they're going to try to keep up this game. And again, the team fight is not the strongest, so I hope they don't go into a big team fight, because if they do, it's totally going to go in the favor of LPO, I believe. While on the other hand, if they can't get into the Noxious trap in the beginning, maybe What's the Main will have a chance, but they are not trying to fight this one now. And now J4 in a little bit of trouble.
And a good Pyroclasm, a lot of bounces from that, from Krillin. A 5v5 at the windmill, something we don't see very often. Armed Weasel in the bottom, able to pick up a quick kill on Zyra. Goes for one on Cassiopeia, gets stunned for his trouble. Cutthroat's out to her, and is able to take her down. Swept completely and convincingly. Onyx Flame immediately hitting the revive to get back onto the field, moving to the refinery as quickly as possible. Is able to get there to stop the push from happening. And Revive is the only reason that push did not happen. If they did not have the Revive available, they would have lost their refinery too.
Yeah, the 3-2 cap would have been a 4-for-1, and it would have been a great push from What's the Main. But They're still going to keep up the damage. Everyone's kind of going back at the moment, so they're going to try to kick up this windmill point for LPO. Krilllian is going to find out Beefer. Beefer going to take a little bit of a poke, fires around, and we're going to see what they're going to do about the windmill. Onyx Flame in a lot of trouble. Youmuu's going to be activated. Emperor Hick and Krilllian going to be able to pick up that kill off the plant. Unfortunately, the deadly plant will not be able to kill down the two.
No, unfortunately. But if that was a neutral situation, that extra hit can prolong a capture on a tower. Moving through the middle of the map now, both teams a lot of Hextech sweeper use. When you have 5 of them, that means that you have vision for 50 out of 60 seconds. That means if there's 2 seconds between each use, then you could constantly cycle them. Very useful when you have 5. Buford moving down the bottom lane, maybe looking for a gank, definitely does not find one. Circles back up, wants to group up with the teammates, but this is a pretty good position for their team.
Yeah, LPO going to start it up, but it is going to be what's meaning going to pick off one. Ragnarok is going to be trying to delay as much as he can, but the 2 is going to be sealed in through the Pooter's hands. Pooter's going to use the Twin Shadows to lock down on the Beefer. Beefer going to use the monster to try to get away from this one. Getting that tornado also to disrupt, but Hammerhand's going to talk to Buford. Say,
ooh, good defensive garrison on that bottom tower.
What's a fist? Always a fist, and a lot of damage coming on the Buford. Buford going to shield herself, and the Great Escape going to happen in. But now they changed their sights to Zyra. No, they're just going to keep this 3 cap up, and what's the main is going to keep this one going down.
Sweeper goes off in the middle of the map, checking the bushes, making sure there's no one there. Talon in from the back. Wanted to try and make a play there, did not find one. Pooters has to flash out because he was 1 hit away from complete disaster. Very safe flash. And J4 just diving through the enemy team, circles around. It's like, hey guys, come play with me. So he has to bring the party to them instead. But he's really not engaging, unfortunately.
Yeah, J4 didn't really have anything else up other than the Cataclysm, but he doesn't really have that positioning. And everybody else taking out. Can all the real eyes come back in and finish this one? Ragnarok going to go in onto Pooters, but Hammerhand and the rest of the crew of What's Dominion, they're going to be able to hold this one up over at the windmill. Onyx Flame going to be taken down, and Beef are going to be walking away from this one. The GGs are going to be called out, and it looks like What's Dominion is going to be able to pick this one up 2-0.
And What's Dominion having done a very good job. The revives saving them in that last engagement because they were able to hit those, get back up to the top part of the map, and make their presence known and keep them from being able to capture those towers.
And definitely, just referring back to that game, LPO did a really good job in the mid-game go to really secure that point over the windmill. Had really good engagements in the team fight area where they caught out the team of What's Dominion, but What's Dominion going back into their old strats of game number 1, making sure that they can disrupt the positioning of LPO. Made sure that they could have that one team fight advantage where, again, Mumu got in, got a great ultimate, got on the whole team of What's Dominion, but could not get any damage to support that, and What's Dominion just capitalized right on top of that. So, really cool to see both teams work it out. Unfortunately, What's Dominion going to be going on to the round of 16.
And we have a round of 16 game coming for you shortly. But really quick, I just want to once again, I can't talk about this enough because I'm really excited about it. Because LoLPro has Dominion guides. If you guys want to learn more about Dominion, go to LoLPro.com, this website that you see on the screen here. And once you go to LoLPro.com, once you go and click up at the top of the screen, click on Pro Guides, and that will take you over to this page. And from this page, you can learn about Dominion. See here, there's an Evelyn guide for Dominion, Lulu, Brand, Annie, Evelyn, I said Evelyn already, Elise, different E-Champ. We have LeBlanc as well, lots of characters on the list, and guides from Sauron, the highest ELO Dominion player ever, and one of the players has been competing for the longest amount of time. So these are Dominion veterans, and these are the top people that are writing these. Painkiller plays for Pays Evelyn Child Support, a team that reigned for 17 weeks at number 1, and they're currently on a couple-week kill streak in a different tournament. And this also has stuff written by Lissick, Northpaw, Fancy Wolf. We also see Mad Supportal, the best support player in Dominion, and the only person that has a 100% win rate in Dominion with Lulu. He's never lost with Lulu. That's pretty scary, and that's why Lulu gets counterbanned against him. If you want your Lulu to get counterbanned, go read Zamike's guide. If you want your brand to just invoke fear in people, go read Half-Hearted's brand guide. Half-Hearted's brand guide is amazing. If you want your Sauron and Jax to be on the level of the highest ELO Dominion player that there's ever been, go read Sauron's, Jax, and Jarvan guides. There's so much information that can be found here. LoLPro.com/guides is where you want to go for that.
Yeah, they will be picking up a tab so that you guys can see the Dominion guides as well pretty soon. So really cool to see LoLPro helping out the Dominion players all around the world and making sure that you guys get some information, as well as Chris, Wikipedia, and Brain of Gaming.
And we'll go into the round of 16 game in just a moment once I confirm which game it is that we are going to commentate. So we're going to throw to a commercial real quick, and then we will be right back.